You must have a view, having studied this. Is it a good thing? Will it help the farmers? Not help the farmers? In a line. I
Good
don't want
if
to
done
hold
in
up
a
the.
right way.
Sorry?
Good if done in a right way.
They will
I
get,
see.
or I mean, on paper they'll get a right price. I mean, that's what theoretically has been proposed. So
Right, right, right. Okay. Jivita, am I taking too much time? Please let me know, huh?
Not at all, sir.
No, sir.
Not at all, sir.
You tell me. You please conduct this. Cut in. I don't know how to.
No, sir. No, sir. It is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much, Nitika, Himanshu, and your partner, the third person who is not with us at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir.
for the reviews, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nitika, Himanshu. Congratulations once again, and also to your team members, Divya Jyoti. And now I request our second runner-up, that is Pooja Kapoor, to please share your experience. Pooja, are you on the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm really honored to be declared as a second runner-up, and
Congratulations.
thank you, sir. I would like to say this excellent initiative by Casper provided a great opportunity actually.
Pooja, can I just, I'm sorry for intervening. Can we just see you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
just one.
Yeah, you turn on your video. Yeah.
So yeah.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I would also like to thank you, Casper, to provide us a great opportunity to researchers like me to showcase our, paper on this topic of the most important topic right now, COVID-19 and Indian economy. And I would also like to thank the panel of judges. They provided us great insights, and also to the organizers, as they worked really wonderfully, like be it connecting to the online platform to helping us or informing us personally. So thank you so much, Casper, for doing all this.
So Pooja, if Jivita, with your permission, let me ask Pooja and her team members, if she has team members, do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us what you studied and what you found?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, my study attempts to find out the likely impact of inflation and basically the inflation expectations during this COVID-19 on the Indian economy.
I see.
So it shows basically the behavioral context.
Pooja, let me stop you. Impact of inflation, or what is likely to be the impact on inflation?
Likely impact, sir, because
Let's just say impact of or impact on, not the same thing.
No, the impact of inflation and inflation expectations.
That's interesting. I see. Okay.
Yeah, so in our economy, basically, RBI collects us quarterly data of inflation expectations of the households, professionals, and the manufacturing firms.
Right.
So whatever data that I have till now is till the survey round of March 7, 2020. So basically, at that point of time, COVID-19 has already emerged in India on 30th January 2020. So what I found, I basically compare the inflation prior to COVID-19 and what were the expectations of the people after COVID-19 emerged in India. And what I found is that the behavioral context of the households, the consumers, and the professionals in the economy, so they are basically very forward-looking individuals. In the surveys of Q3 of 2019 and 20, they were all suggested that there would be an increase in the inflation in the coming quarters. But after the January 30th, when the COVID-19 case emerged, they all say in the one tone that there would be a decline in the inflation expectation, except for the manufacturing firms. So the households as well as the professional forecasters were on the same view that there would be a decline in the inflation expectations, as opposed to their prior.
Pooja, not inflation expectations, you mean inflation.
Yeah, right. Their expectations about the inflation were that there would be a decline in inflation.
Correct, absolutely. I see. And when was this survey taken?
This survey was taken in February, from 17th February, and the results till 7th of March.
I see. Excellent. I see. Okay, thank you very much. But just a sec. And what is since February now we have 3 months.
Yes.
What has actually happened?
So actually, the inflation has come down.
Come
So the
down.
expectations of the people were right to some extent. But
Right.
now we have seen that the economic stimulus package has already come up. So we have to wait. But yes, if we talk about the inflation expectations data, that would not be available for obvious reason for some time to go, because it is collected by RBI on a very major basis, like covering 18 cities and around 6,000 households. So during this situation, it would not be possible for RBI to collect these expectations data from the households. Hello.
Hello.
I think
Hello.
Pooja again, Balash sir is facing some technical issue. Please hold on for a minute.
Yeah, I'll come in for a second. I was about to explain, say this at the end, but since we have break,
Sir, Balash sir is back.
is he okay then? Please.
Sir, we need, sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Pooja. I'm sorry, I don't know whose fault it is. But let's just put it on the bandwidth. I went on. I heard you, and thank you very much. It seems
Thank
a
you.
very interesting project. Did you have team members, or were you on this on your own?
On my own.
On your own. Are you an MA student at IIT Roorkee or a BTech
No,
student?
sir. Actually, I'm a PhD student and I'm just on an initial stage. I have just completed my coursework.
Where are you a PhD student? Delhi School of
Yes.
Economics. Where are
No,
you?
no, sir. IIT Roorkee.
IIT Roorkee. Okay, excellent, and all the best.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you, Pooja, and congratulations once again. And we have
Thank you so
another
much.
team, second runner-up, that is Karan Kohli, Kunal Dheer, and Ronak Kochar. I request them to please share their experience.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
My video is turned off by the host, so I can't turn it on. So maybe the host will have to activate that.
Okay, we'll see to it. Just a second.
Sure.
You can tell us who you are in the
Sure, sir.
meanwhile.
Sure, sir.
You are
So yes, yes,
Who are
sir.
you?
So my name is Ronak Kochar. My teammates. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So first of all, hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi. Yeah.
First of
We can't
first
see
of
you.
all,
Yeah, please go ahead and speak. We can hear you.
First of all, I'd like to thank Casper for providing us this opportunity to participate in the policy research.
Hi.
So this was something new which we came across, and we wanted to do some research. We were planning to write a paper on policy research in the coming month. So we thought that we could put our views here and see if we can do some proper research on the development of an apex skill development body, which our research topic was. And secondly, I would like to thank Professor Balakrishnan for felicitating us. So I believe we share a common link. So we are the students
We
from
do.
Kozhikode.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So my knowledge of you goes way back while I was preparing for CAT. So we were asked to read Hindu, and I came across your editorials. So I actually liked your editorials where you talked about inclusive governance policies. You talked also about the economy of Kerala sometimes, and I really loved your articles.
I see. Thank you. Thank you.
And so we can maybe just start what our research was. So our research was to propose a new skill development. Hello.
Just hold on for a second, Ronak. I think he's again facing some technical issue. We'll just see to it. Just give it a minute.
sir is back.
Yeah, he's back. Just wait, Ronak. Like we are looking into it. Yeah. Do we have your team members too on the meeting?
Kunal is there, but his internet is slow. Maybe he can join via audio. Kunal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Sir is there on the line.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Jivita, I'm here.
Yes, sir. So
Yes, sir.
Please, you can ask Ronak to continue. Sorry, Ronak.
Yeah, Ronak. Please continue.
Yeah. So
So
sorry.
I'll tell something about the project that we were working on.
Yes,
So
yes.
we tried to propose a skill development body. So first, what we did is we reviewed the existing skill development mechanisms. So what we saw is they are bifurcated and they are not centrally controlled. So there are a lot of skill development missions, NSDC, National Skill Development Centers, then state skill development centers, and they were not there was not a single purpose with which they were driven. So there was also a division of the funds that was preventing them from achieving their potential. So what we were trying to propose is we researched on the skill development bodies of various countries, and we tried to put them in perspective of how they could fit in Indian context, and that's how we came forward with an epic skill development body.
You came up with an apex skill development. Yeah,
Yes,
why do you use the word apex?
So it would be a body which would control all the skill development bodies.
I see. Because they're separate. Huh? You use the word bifurcated. That's the wrong word. You mean something else. You mean there are too many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we need to get a better word. Now, I just have two very quick questions for you and your team, Ronak. Are your team members here also, or is it
yes,
just?
Sir. So my team member Kunal is also.
Kunal is here. Yeah, cousin of Virat, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. The third person?
He couldn't join, so he had.
Okay, that's fine. When you now the skill development, of course, is very important. Yes. But there is no obvious connection with COVID. What is the connection that you guys are making? Why are you talking about skill development now? I'm curious.
Exactly.
In a seminar or webinar on EcoNovid, why skill development now?
Exactly, sir. So our motivation was primarily that there were various organizations which were trying to diversify their operations. So they had concentrated operations in China and some other countries. So we saw the example of Apple diversifying 1/5 of their operation in India, where they manufacture mobiles in India, because they don't want to concentrate. Now the organizations are fearful that if they concentrate and the supply chain of that country is disrupted,
I see.
It would totally cut them off, and they would face a lot of problems. So we thought that can we provide a skill development body that is competitive enough to attract the manufacturers to our country, so that they can readily get the skills that are required and set up the manufacturing as fast as possible.
Very good. Now, what are these skills which are necessary for this? I mean, are you an engineer?
Yes, sir.
I suspected that. I'm not. So I'm not sure if I'll understand this very well. But try and explain to me, what are the skills you guys have in mind which are necessary to attract manufacturing firms probably relocating from China? Explain it to us in a very general way.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So I'd add, and if Kunal also has some points, he can also add afterwards.
Please, yeah.
So sir, what we were seeing currently is there are a lot of ITIs which provide technical education. So their education is concentrated towards scooter and motor repairing, electrical repairing, and all the generic technical skills that are required for generic economy continuance of an economy. So what we are proposing is, and what we saw in other countries like Germany, Taiwan, and Switzerland, that they have institutes which are collaborating very extensively with the industries. So they have skills, their students have skills like a construction of light emitting diode or something of that sort, like development of chips. So these are high value added skills which are not provided currently in India, and the industries have to take the onus of providing those skills.
Okay, now this is a politically charged question, and you may feel uncomfortable about answering it. But are industries in India, do you think, as open as the industries in Germany and Switzerland are supposed to be? I don't know anything. Industries should also be scaled up. They should be willing to take on more young people.
Exactly. So yes, sir. So there were two-pronged problems that we were trying to solve. One was whether the industries in India are capable to provide the support to these institutes, so to provide the training, and also whether the companies coming to India can is sir there? Hello.
Just
Yeah,
hold
sure,
on,
sure.
Ronak. To find them. Sorry, Ronak, just hold on, okay?
Sure, no issues.
B. B.
Think
Hello, Ronak.
Hello.
Sir has joined us. You can continue.
Sure.
I am so sorry, Ronak. Please continue. Please wind up. Yeah, I had asked you whether there is a greater sense of responsibility necessary from Indian industry. Do you think? as far as training is concerned.
Yes, sir.
Our industry is open enough to get very young people in a way that I think they are in Switzerland and Germany. Carry on.
Yes, sir. So while we were doing our research, we found that there were some pockets in some states where ITIs were actively collaborating with industries. So there was a case where Siemens and Hyundai were collaborating with ITIs. So where the ITI students were working on producing the products of Siemens and Hyundai. And similarly, there's a case where Maruti also collaborates with ITI. But what happens is they are collaborating with individual ITIs, and there is not a concerted effort from top down to include all the ITIs with
I
the
see.
industry. So there is a willingness from the industry side.
I see.
I think there should be some willingness from.
Which is what you mean by apex. That is why you guys are emphasizing the apex
Exactly.
so much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Jivita. I enjoyed talking to Ronak. And
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, Ronak, and once again, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you, Jivita.
We have with us Udita Ghosh, Nikhil Srinivasan, and Ayushi Samadar, second runner-up. Can you guys please share your experience with us?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Nikhil, Nikhil, please turn on your video.
Yes, I'm trying. Hello.
Hello, yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
First of all, I am very glad to receive this acknowledgement from such an esteemed guest, and I thank Casper India for giving us this opportunity to present.
Yes. Jivita requested you and your team to tell us something about your project in a line or two. What was the project and what were your findings?
Sir, our project was basically about, we actually took out like 5 sectors. Main sectors include financial sector, which comprises of banking and insurance, and the other, one other sector which we particularly focused on the impacts, and then we recommended 3 main policies which included. So what we have found out during the impacts is that mainly the MSME sector has been badly impacted during the crisis due to a lot of demand issues, and their supply chains have been affected. And for this, we have actually included a policy recommendation as a part of as a policy recommendation for increasing the production, which includes the increase in market access of the MSMEs and increase in credit. And also, we have included tax reforms in basic tax in the basic tax structure right now for the products, and also there is a change in fiscal subsidies that we are like a reshuffling in the fiscal subsidies. So this is what we are proposing in the paper.
Okay, excellent. I have 2 questions for you. One is a very specific question and a more general question. What do you and your team members mean by market access? I know the expression market access in the context of international trade. Say if one country prevents India's exports entering for whatever reason, then India does not have market access into that country. But in the case of the SMSC sector, what do you guys mean by market access? Surely the SMSC sector is not prevented from accessing any part of the Indian economy.
Yes, so basically what we are talking right now is about the pandemic situation, where there is a increase in accumulation of stockpiles in the market, stockpiles in the MSME production.
Correct.
So there is, yeah, and also a person-to-person, business-to-business transaction right now is almost not possible in the MSME sector because of various other restrictions imposed by the government. So what we are trying to propose is that the existing stockpiles in the market right now can be actually being sold, taken into the e-commerce sector by like right now Flipkart has proposed to the government that they can take the products from MSME sectors to their market and actually diversify their supply chain.
Correct. So that's interesting. So I've learned something today. I mean, that actually the lockdown has imposed market access. Yeah, that's correct on the supply side.
Yes.
I mean, that's an important point.
Even the supply chains of these MSME sectors has been cut down due to this process.
Correct. But
So
of course, the supply chain issue is a separate issue, but the market access issue is the really original point in your study, which I was not aware of that as a possibility. So that's interesting. So let me ask you a very general question and finish. The chairman of the Madras School of Economics, Dr. Rangarajan, has been writing a lot about the economy and all the rest of it.
Yes,
I want to know what the students of the Madras School feel about the so-called stimulus package announced by the government of India. In a line or two, if you're comfortable speaking about it, you can tell us, especially since your team has focused so much on the MSME sector. What do you make of it, of the stimulus package?
Yes, sir. So what basically we feel is that right now we can't say much about the stimulus package because it's just been implemented, but still it has to be more focused and more planned, as even in the MSME sector.
Srinivas, you may not be able to say much about the impact of the stimulus package, but you can say something about its design right away.
Yes, yes, sir.
I don't mean just you. All of us can say something about its design. So that's what I'm interested in. What do young people think about the design of the so-called stimulus package? In a line or two, not more.
Yes, sir. So basically, about even the credit guarantee loans given to the MSME sector, which is actually mainly focused, I feel, what is mainly focused on small and medium enterprises. The micro enterprises has not been entertained as much because there is a risk appetite in the MSME sector, which the micro sectors are not willing to take the credit as well as now, because they have this risk of them defaulting as well. So to increase this credit appetite is one important aspect that has to be done, and that can only be done through increased marketing programs, I feel.
Terrific. Thank you very much. I enjoyed talking to you and your team and knowing about their results. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeevita.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nikhil, Ayushi, and Udita. Once again, congratulations. And we have with us a best paper award that was to Somesh K. Mathur and Dipti Sara Anil. I would request them to please share their experience. Hello. Is Dipti is on the meeting?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good morning. Oh,
yes.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So it was.
Has Dr. Mathur joined us?
So he was there, but I can't see him at the moment.
So I'm the only one with. I'm not the only one with bad connectivity. I don't feel so bad. So let's give a shot for Dr. Mathur for a minute, if that's okay, Jeevita. I don't know.
Yes, sure. Yes,
what
sir.
What is incorrect? Sorry.
So Dr. Mathur has joined. Yes, sir.
Hello, Dr. Mathur. Dr. Mathur, can you hear me? Hello. He can't hear us. We can see him.
There is some audio connectivity. We'll look into it.
Yeah. It would take a moment for him. He had just joined in.
For sure, of course.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Dr. Mathur. Very nice to meet you here after almost a decade.
Yes, after 14 years.
14 years. It's a long time. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So congratulations to you and your team member for the paper. And with the permission of our host, may I request you to tell us very briefly, line or two, about which we've been asking all participants, What did you investigate and what were your findings?
Okay, let me sum it right at the beginning that this mathematical modeling part was done by Deepti.
I see.
And our work was on econometric and ANN model to explain what causes spread of COVID-19 across 125 country, including Indian states and districts.
It's an epidemiological study then, Shomesh.
Sir, it's about socio-economic, political, and climatic factors explaining the COVID spread, including the stringency index on the COVID spread.
Right. So, of course, I'm sure all the participants and I are very interested to know about your findings.
Okay, Deepti will talk about the SIR model and its impact on the insurance companies, but I can talk about the econometric